Picture this. It's 9:03 a.m. Your ballroom is full. Your CEO is mic'd up. The countdown clock just hit 0. The walk-on music hits, but it's the wrong track. The confidence monitor is frozen. The second slide, not the final version. Your show caller is flipping pages. The lighting op asks, are we going to blackout or straight to the video? And your keynote speaker, they're standing in the wing, looking at you, waiting for a signal they don't know how to read. You planned this event for months, so how did it unravel in the first 3 minutes? The answer, it didn't start that morning. It started months ago, in a meeting that never happened. Welcome to Production Value Matters, the business events podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Byrne, and welcome to another AV Advisor episode. Today's episode is about that meeting that was missed. Actually, it's about all the meetings that should happen before the ballroom, before the AV check, and before the pressure is on. Because aligning your C-suite and AV team doesn't happen on site. It happens in the quiet pre-production moments where the stakes feel low, but the impact is massive. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to align that C-suite and AV team before your event. Trust me, the difference between a seamless show and a show-saving scramble, it starts there. Let's get into it. As usual, if you like the content that we produce at Production Value Matters, please go to productionvaluematters.com and subscribe there. We'll send you more deep dive information on all the subjects that we talk about, and then you can access older episodes and stay in the loop. Okay, so today we're digging into a topic that's overlooked far too often. How to align that C-suite and the AV team well before anyone sets a foot on stage. Now, I'm not talking about the obligatory handshake meet and greet when your execs and the AV team meet backstage 5 minutes before showtime. I'm talking about real alignment, the kind that saves time, budget, and more than a few gray hairs. So grab your show flow and your pre-pro checklist, and let's get into it. Let's start with the truth. By the time your CEO is on stage, your chance to fix things is over. Too often, the first time the C-suite interacts with an AV team is on site during a rush tech check or a dress rehearsal. That's not alignment. That is damage control. Great events start way upstream in the creative briefing, where that storytelling begins. It's where intentions are made clear, visuals are imagined, and tech can be aligned with the why of the event, not just the how. Your AV team is not there just to push buttons. They're the architects of that experience, but only if they're invited to the table early. The first critical meeting is the creative download. The initial download meeting is where alignment begins. It's where your AV partner, your content team, and your executive leadership should all hear the same story. Here's what needs to be in that meeting. First, a statement of clear event goals and key messages. The presenter lineup and any C-suite involvement. Session formats. Are they fireside chats? Are they walk and talks? Are they demos? And then go over the tone, visual style, and any creative branding considerations. You also want to talk through things like the ground plan, stage design concepts, and the technical constraints or must-haves, like we need to do this kind of live switching at this moment. We need to have an IMAG shot when he or she does this. Are there any remote presenters, etc.? This is not a we'll figure it out later meeting. This is the moment to sync that strategy, storytelling, and the showcraft. Now, preparing the presenters. These are the speaker briefings that absolutely matter. Let's talk about those speaker briefings. These should never be left until the night before the event, especially not with executive presenters or guest speakers. The briefing should happen at least 1 to 2 weeks out and should include a walkthrough of the stage ground plan, a review of their technical needs. So what kind of mic do they like to present with? What kind of downstage monitors are they expecting? Do they need a slide advance, or is there somebody coming with something special? Review the content and the intent of the messaging. All of your guest speakers, especially external speakers, are going into that situation blind. And this is your opportunity to tell them what you're trying to do with your event so that they can make subtle adjustments to their presentation to align with that goal. And one thing that everybody always forgets until they show up at the last minute and it's all wrong. is wardrobe. Talk to your presenters about what they intend to wear. This is an opportunity for you to get alignment to make sure they're not wearing a bright blue suit in front of a gigantic blue LED screen and so that they look like a floating head on camera. Tell them what they should be wearing. Ask them to wear something of a certain color or a certain style. From a technical point of view, we always like to remind speakers and presenters that we are going to be using lavalier microphones. So anything with a lapel is really, really important to have. We're going to be putting you on a stool. So if you happen to wear a skirt, make sure it's not too short because that would be compromising for you as a speaker on stage. So we always want to make sure that we're going through those details because that black charcoal suit might disappear into an LED backdrop or that blue suit. A brilliant white outfit, it might blow out the camera. Wardrobe is production. It's just as critical as the lighting, audio, and video.
Planning a multi-day event or conference? Then you know how chaotic managing show content can get. Version issues, last-minute changes, and the post-show scramble to send out IMAG recordings. ShowSync is built to fix that. It's your central hub for managing presentations, media, and video recordings across your event, without the mess of cloud folders or lost file links. With ShowSync, your show content stays organized, your crew stays in sync, and your post-show video files are delivered faster and cheaper, so you can move on to the next big thing without chasing down drives. Learn more at showsync.ca, because your content should work as hard as you do.
Enjoying the show? Don't miss a single episode. Follow Production Value Matters wherever you get your podcasts. And for bonus content, tools, and event insights, head over to productionvaluematters.com and subscribe. Stay sharp, stay inspired. Production Value Matters.
Let's talk about the pre-production tie-down meeting. Everybody knows about the venue tie-down meeting. It's where BEOs, catering, seating plans are finalized with the venue. But what about your production tie-down? This should happen about a week before load-in, and it's just as essential. You can confirm and review the show flow and any cue sheets. You review content status, walk through load-in plans and crew calls, finalize graphics, animations, and video content, and lock in the technical rehearsals. This meeting gives your AV team time to prep, to do some pre-programming, and identify any red flags before the trucks arrive. So when you get on site, what touch points really matter? All right, you've made it to the venue. Now comes the part people think is the beginning, but really is just the beginning of the execution. Still, there are some key touch points that matter immensely here. First of all, let's talk about paper tech. Before you even roll a cue, do a paper tech. And that's where the show caller walks through the run of show script line by line with lighting, audio, and video teams without talent. Why? Because when the CEO or the keynote presenter comes to the deck, we want that muscle memory in place. Paper tech locks in that rhythm before you ever go live. Next one is your cue to cue and on-stage rehearsals. Yes, you need to run a dry tech or cue to cue. Do an on-stage walkthrough with content and comms. But ideally, you're doing that first dry run without any of the speakers or talent, so that the show team gets their timing and transitions right in advance. Then you get to the presenter walkthrough. And remember to support the messenger. Once the presenter arrives, that's kind of game time. Here's where your team needs to walk them through things like where to enter and exit, where the confidence monitors and teleprompters are, and confirm their sight lines and that they're comfortable. Take them over to the A2 or audio tech station so that they know where to get mic'd up, meet the crew that will be working with them, and get used to speaking with that team. Identify where things like water, notes, Kleenex will be, and where they can take a breath before stepping out. Use your assistant stage manager or deck manager to lead this. Comfort is everything. If the presenter feels confident and supported, the message lands better. And remember that the presenter is the final piece. All of the tech, video, showcraft exist to support them. They're not the guests in your show. They're the main act. Treat them like them. And then expect changes and be ready. One last thing. You'll lock in your show. You'll rehearse it. You'll memorize every single cue. Then that keynote or the CEO will land on the site and say, I want to change slide 3. But guess what? That's not a failure. That's normal. Because when you've prepped properly and you've done your dry runs and paper tech and the system checks, you have that foundation. The foundation means that you can easily adapt. It means the team doesn't panic. It means you can pivot with precision because you already know the road ahead. Pre-production is where the real magic happens. When your AV team, your planners, your executive presenters are aligned before the first truck rolls in, you don't just get a better show, you get a smoother process, a calmer backstage, and a more confident team on stage. Thanks for listening to Production Value Matters, the business events podcast. If today's episode helped you think differently about your next show, subscribe, share it, and send it to somebody who's still scheduling AV meet and greet on day one. I'm your host, Matthew Byrne, and I'll see you next time, where production meets purpose and every cue counts. And again, always go to productionvaluematters.com, where you can subscribe, get access to further resources, and more deep dives on what we speak about on the podcast. See you soon.
Production Value Matters, the business events podcast, is brought to you by Byrne Production Services. To learn more about Byrne Production Services and how we can achieve your business goals, head over to byrneproductionservices.com. Thanks for listening.